you like scary movies and coffee?
The following show is based on research on horror movies and what goes on behind the scenes of your favorite scary movies. Horde Entertainment or Reanimate Her is not responsible for the macabre and horror that you are about to witness. Viewer discretion is advised.
Ghoul screaming, daywalkers. I am ReAnimateHer, your queen of horror, and this is Coffee Chat of Horrors, the only horror show that takes its coffee like it's magic, and that is black. Today's coffee comes from Madrina's Coffee in Espresso Blend, which is a dark, bold roast. It's delicious. You can check them out down below if you want, but I would suggest some coffee. Today, we'll be talking about Wes Craven's The People Under the Stairs. So slap on that SPF 666, grab yourself a bloody bucket of brains, and enjoy the show. Unmasking the Horrors of the People Under the Stairs in 1991 had a budget of $6 million US, and a box office of 31.3 million worldwide. Yes. In 1991, writer and director Wes Craven unleashed The People Under the Stairs, a thrilling and thought-provoking horror film that was inspired by real-life incident. Did you know that? Real life incident. While the movie is famous for its eerie atmosphere and unsettling storyline, there is much more to it than meets the eye. Just like Transformers, right? Anyways, join us as we deep dive into the depths of this cult classic and explore its origins, themes, characters, and memorable moments. Let's have a taste of that coffee. Now, you know, I was telling you guys about real life inspiration, and it was inspired. Wes Craven drew his inspiration for The People Under the Stairs from a chilling event that occurred in 1978. In Los Angeles, two burglars broke into a home only to discover something truly horrifying, and that is two kids being locked in their basement. Yeah. Now, these two children were locked in their basement. Of course, they were being neglected and not taken care of. This disturbing incident planted the seed for Craven's nightmarish tale. In the film, a young boy named Poindexter Fool Williams stumbles upon a house that hides a similar secret, a mansion filled with missing and mistreated people. So the young protagonist in this film is nicknamed Fool, and his name in the film is Poindexter Williams. So you will hear me refer to him as Fool. Now, this film touches on numerous levels without really pushing it into your face. So if you've never seen The People Under the Stairs, I would stop watching here if you don't want spoilers, as I will go in and talk about this film and spoilers. So I'm just letting you know right now. This film touches on exploring class struggle and social inequality. One of the central themes of this film is the stark divide between the rich and the poor, highlighting the injustices faced by marginalized communities. The People Under the Stairs is a commentary on class struggle and social inequality, shedding light on the systematic issues that plague society. This film came out in 1991, and I honestly think in 91, this film was important. However, I think it's more important today than in 1991. And please don't worry about having, politics pushed down your throat in this one, because you don't actually recognize it at first. I know when I first seen The People Under the Stairs in the movie theaters in 1991, I didn't realize there was a social commentary. There's a lot of stuff when I seen this film, I was still a young kid. I didn't see these things in the world. But as an adult, rewatching this film numerous times as an adult, it opened my eyes to even more. And I highly recommend this film. Now, it also has a very unique protagonist. At the time of its release, the film was notable for featuring a young African-American protagonist. Young Brandon Adams portrayed 13-year-old Fool, a character driven by his desire to help his sick mother and keep his family together. This unique choice of lead character added depth and diversity to the horror genre. And touching a bit on that, not a lot of films in the horror genre, especially in the 50s, 60s, 70s, 80s, showed African American protagonist. You had it in Romero's Night of the Living Dead, right? And then a few other films throughout the line, but not as much as others. You know what I'm saying? So this really put this in time, like, wow, an African American protagonist. And I think that's amazing. And I think that's really great that we see this, especially in the 90s. And I honestly think this film is very important today in society-wise. Did you know that this film had influences from Twin Peaks? You know that show. I mean, I watched that show growing up. Twin Peaks was also a movie as well as a TV series, and it was great. Wes Craven had a specific vision for the film's antagonists and drew inspiration from actors Robbie and McGill, who had previously appeared in Twin Peaks. He cast them as Mr. and Mrs. Robison, making for a very memorable and terrifying on-screen duo. These two were disgusting. You couldn't tell if they were brother and sister or married or incest or what was going on, but these two played their roles perfectly. Racist, nasty, incestuous, I think, people. Gross people. And you were rooting for them to die, especially when you seen Daddy in that leather getup. You know what I'm talking about. Yeah. There is one iconic line, and everybody knows it. If you've known this film, if you've seen this film, you know this line. And it goes, "In every neighborhood, there is one house that adults whisper about and children cross the street to avoid." That line right there sets the eerie tone for this entire movie and perfectly encapsulates the unsettling premise, which to me, that is a scary line. If you just listen to it, I mean, I know I have a scary voice, but if you just listen to that, in every neighborhood, there is that one house. And I know growing up, there was always that one house on the block that you either stayed away from or you thought was really cool and you wanted to explore it. I know the era that I grew up in, we definitely had one. Believe it or not, this movie was considered controversial and was banned in several countries. Yeah, I know, right? Why? Due to its graphic violence and disturbing content, The People Under the Stairs faced bans in some countries where it was considered too controversial for public viewing. The censorship only added to its reputation as a boundary-pushing horror film. Okay, yes, there is some violence in it, but it's not as bad as, numerous other films that are out there. However, there are countries that found speaking out against the injustices of the rich and the poor, which is classes, and marginalized communities, that was a no-no. And so that caused a lot of controversy over there, and that is why the film was banned. Now, I think it's still an important film that speaks high. It speaks on every level. Now, I really love the fact that this film challenges the American dream. We're always told, the American dream, come to America and live a beautiful life, have a house with the white picket fence, a beautiful wife and husband, 3 children and a dog. Everybody lives well in America. Well, I honestly think this serves as a commentary on the dark underbelly of the American dream, questioning the idea that anyone can achieve success and security in society filled with systematic injustices. And I agree with that. I mean, that's what I pulled from this, right? So a lot of what you're going to hear is what I feel. These are not things that I pull from the internet. This is what I feel from this movie. And I can see that it was challenging the American dream. Maybe I'm seeing it differently than others, but I would love to know what you guys think. Tell me in the comments. Let me know. Let's have a conversation about this. Do you believe that this is a commentary that discusses and opens the dark underbelly of the American dream? If yay, I want to know. If nay, tell me down below. Let me know. The People Under the Stairs had another title. It's the same title, but a little longer. It was The People Under the Stairs Fool's Hell Night. And the title was shortened only because of marketing, because that was quite huge. The People Under the Stairs, Fool's Hell Night. That's huge. So for marketing reasons, they cut it down, which I think was pretty smart. Remember I told you that Wes Craven pulled inspirations from other things as well, other films? And he did. Wes Craven crafted a very suspenseful atmosphere of the film by drawing inspiration that was brought on as such films as the Texas Chainsaw Massacre and Night of the Living Dead. These influences contributed to the movie's enduring sense of dread. You can see that in both Night of the Living Dead and especially in Texas Chainsaw Massacre. Texas Chainsaw Massacre is like the never-ending dread. And there are certain parts in Texas Chainsaw Massacre that you feel hopeless, then helpless, and that full intense of dread. And I think Wes Craven portrayed the dread and the tense and the eerie and the atmosphere of that in this film. I think he did a really great job in this film with that. I want to tell you guys about some notable auditions. You know, Roach has a very tragic story in this film, and he's one of my favorite characters. He is. Hilary Swank auditioned before she became a well-known actress in 1991. In 1990, she auditioned for the role of Roach. I think personally, this is my opinion, that the actor they portrayed for Roach is perfect. What do you think? Let me know down below. Did you guys know that there was supposed to be a TV adaptation for People Under the Stairs? Before Wes Craven passed, he was in the thoughts of creating this as an iconic story to a new generation, which I thought would have been really great. I think this would have been awesome as a TV series. It's really sad. May he rest in peace that he passed away before to make this happen. However, Jordan Peele is looking to remake The People Under the Stairs. And I find this very interesting. I'm going to bring race up here for a moment. I loved seeing the story from Wes Craven's eyes, a man outside of that culture, but can still feel and see the injustices between the classes and race. And then Jordan Peele, I'm excited to see and very interested in seeing Jordan Peele through the eyes of a black man who has lived these injustices, right? I want to see the take on that. I'm very interested. Are you guys interested in the Jordan Peele? Again, tell me down below in the comments. I definitely would love to know. I enjoy conversations like this. Just be respectful and mindful of others when you are, discussing things. No one's opinion is right or wrong. It's an opinion, and everybody has them, just like an arsehole. Now, I want to get into some of the little legacy things that I found when I was watching The People Under the Stairs. You know the tape recorder that's playing? It's a very skewed version of Now I Lay Thee Down to Sleep. That is a direct nod to Wes Craven's past works, including A Nightmare on Elm Street and The Last House on the Left. These connections add depth to the film and showcase the director's enduring influence on the horror genre. Movies like The Last House on the Left and I Spit on Your Grave are scary to me. These are frightful, anxiety, intense, dread films for myself. And I love Nightmare on Elm Street. But I love how he threw a nod to his legacy in this film. Keep an eye on that if you go and rewatch it. The mystery names. Now, if you've watched this movie and you read the credits, okay, this is a fun little tidbit that you can look for. Throughout the entire movie, the man and woman who torment Fool are only referred to as Mommy and Daddy, and I do the quotes because Mommy and Daddy. Their real names are never revealed. However, when Alice attacks the woman, she yells for the man and calling him Eldon. The sign in the front of their house reads Robeson's Funeral Home, so suggesting that the male's name is Eldon Robeson. In the credits, they are simply credited as man and woman. They are the creepy shitty duo humans. The People Under the Stairs is a horror film that goes beyond jumps and scares and gore, and it really is. It delves into societal issues, challenges norms, and offers a unique perspective within the horror genre. With its rich history, thought-provoking themes, and unforgettable characters, it continues to captivate and terrify audience to this day. And it does. I want to thank you so very much for sitting here and watching this video of Coffee Chat of Horror's deep dive into The People Under the Stairs by Wes Craven. If you guys would like to know more, or would like to suggest a film that I should deep dive into in the horror genre, please put in the comments down below, and I would be more than happy to add that to my research for Coffee Chat of Horrors. Thank you guys so very much for subscribing and liking. I really do appreciate you taking out the time to do said things. On that note, I gotta run back to my crypt, but before I do so, I've gotta give some huge shout outs to some of my Patreon and YouTube members. Devil Dog, I love your guts, thank you. Klepto, thank you and I love your guts. 8-Bit Sala, dude, you are a fucking legend, thank you and I love your guts. Dahi, thank you. And Deadwalk, thank you. I love your guys' guts, Dahi and Deadwalk. I love everybody's guts, but thank you guys so very much for your continued support in every way and in everything that I do. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Make sure to like and subscribe, and I will see you in the next one. I will slash you all later. Bye.